What if the same psychological patterns that drove ancient rituals are now fueling our tech addictions? We're not just scrolling, we're sacrificing. But why does this strange parallel exist, and what are we really missing? Imagine standing in the shadow of a towering stone monolith, surrounded by a crowd chanting in unison, eyes fixed on a flickering flame. This is a ritual, ancient and sacred, designed to connect with something greater than ourselves. Now, picture yourself sitting in front of a glowing screen, fingers tapping rhythmically, heart racing with anticipation as notifications light up like sacred signals. It's not so different. The human mind has always sought connection, meaning, and transcendence. In ancient times, we found these through fire, ceremony, and communal experience. Today, we find them through the glow of our phones, the hum of our devices, and the endless scroll of content. But what if our modern tech addiction is just a new form of ritual, designed to hook us in ways we barely understand? Psychologists have long studied the power of ritual, how it creates a sense of control, belonging, and purpose. But what if the algorithms we interact with every day are engineered to mimic those very patterns? They reward us with dopamine hits, keep us engaged with uncertainty, and create a cycle of anticipation and satisfaction that feels eerily familiar. We think we're in control, but are we really? Or are we simply following the same psychological pathways that guided our ancestors through caves and temples, now redirected towards screens and data? The question isn't just about technology. It is about understanding the deep primal forces that drive us and how they're being manipulated in ways we're only beginning to see. This is why we need to look closer. Because the line between ancient ritual and modern addiction isn't as clear as we think, and the truth might just change how we see ourselves forever. Ancient cultures use rituals to create structure, distraction, and escape, just like how we use social media, gaming, and endless scrolling. These aren't just habits, they're psychological crutches. Wait until you see how a 3,000-year-old practice mirrors our modern dopamine loops. Think about it. Our ancestors would gather in circles, chant, dance, and offer sacrifices to gods they couldn't see. These acts weren't just spiritual, they were deeply psychological. They created a sense of belonging, reduced anxiety, and gave people something to focus on in a world full of uncertainty. Sound familiar? Today, we do something very similar, but with screens instead of sacred spaces. We scroll through feeds, binge on videos, and lose ourselves in games. It's not just about entertainment. It's about escape, control, and the illusion of connection. And just like ancient rituals, these modern behaviors are designed to trigger the same primal responses in our brains. Neuroscientists have discovered that the same regions of the brain that light up during religious rituals also activate when we receive a notification, like a message or a like. It's the same rush of dopamine, the same feeling of reward. And just like ancient people used rituals to cope with stress or fear, we use technology to distract ourselves from the chaos of modern life. But here's the kicker. These modern rituals are engineered to be more addictive than ever before. Our algorithms know exactly how to keep us hooked, by giving us just enough reward to keep us coming back, just enough uncertainty to keep us engaged, and just enough validation to make us feel seen. What if we're not just using technology, we're being used by it? What if our modern addictions are just ancient instincts, repurposed for the digital age? And what happens when we start to realize that the very tools we think are helping us are actually shaping us in ways we don't understand? This is just the beginning, because the more we look, the more we'll see how deeply our past is embedded in our present, and how the patterns we've ignored for centuries are now shaping the future of human behavior. From firelit ceremonies to smartphone glow, the need for ritualistic repetition is hardwired into us. But here's where it gets wild. The same symbols used in ancient trance states show up in app icons, notification sounds, and even the way we swipe. It's like we're speaking an ancient language without knowing it. Let's break it down. In ancient cultures, symbols were more than just images. They were keys to unlocking deeper states of consciousness. A spiral, for example, was often associated with the movement of the cosmos, the cycle of life, and the journey into the unknown. Sound familiar? Take a look at the infinity symbol, the logo of a major streaming service, even the circular motion of a loading spinner. These aren't random, they're echoes of something much older. And it doesn't stop there. The way we swipe on our phones, the rhythmic tapping of our fingers, the way we scroll endlessly. These are all forms of movement that mirror the repetitures of ancient rituals. It's not just about convenience, It's about triggering that same neurological response that made our ancestors feel connected, calm, and in control. Even the sounds we hear are laced with ancient meaning. The chime of a notification, the soft click of a like, the satisfying ding of a message. These are all designed to mimic the sounds of sacred rituals, triggering that same emotional response deep in our brains. It's a carefully crafted echo of something primal, something we've been doing for millennia. But why would modern tech designers be so interested in ancient symbols and rituals? Could it be that they're tapping into something we don't fully understand, something that has been with us since the dawn of humanity? What if these digital rituals are not just a reflection of our past, but a way to shape our future? This isn't just about technology. It's about how we think, how we feel, and how we connect with the world around us. And if we're not aware of it, we might be unknowingly participating in a digital renaissance of ancient practices without ever realizing the full impact it has on our minds and our behavior. This isn't just a coincidence. It's a pattern. Our tech isn't just changing how we live. It's reviving old human instincts. Here's why this changes everything. We're not just addicted to screens. We're reenacting ancient behaviors in a digital age. We've always been creatures of habit, of ritual, of repetition. And now, we're doing it again, but with a twist. Instead of fire and stone, we have pixels and algorithms. Instead of chants and dances, we have notifications and swipes. The core of it all, though, remains the same. The need for connection, for meaning, for something greater than ourselves. What does this mean for us? It means modern addictions aren't just about technology. They're about our deepest, most ancient needs. And if we don't understand that, we might be missing the bigger picture. We might be losing ourselves in the glow of our screens, not realizing that we're just following a path that's been written into our biology for thousands of years. But here's the thing. Awareness is power. If we can see the patterns, if we can recognize the echoes of our past and our present, we can start to take control. We can begin to ask the hard questions. Are we using technology, or is it using us? Are we participating in these digital rituals, or are we being manipulated by them? This isn't just about addiction. It's about identity, about how we define ourselves in a world that's constantly changing. It's about understanding that the tools we think are helping us are, in many ways, shaping us, sometimes in ways we don't even realize. So the next time you find yourself scrolling, swiping, or tapping, take a moment to think, what are you really doing? Are you just reacting to the moment, or are you part of something much bigger? Because if there's one thing we've learned from history, it's that the past always finds a way to echo into the future, and sometimes it changes everything. What ancient rituals are we unknowingly repeating in our digital lives? And what might they be trying to teach us? Comment below with your thoughts and subscribe for more mind-bending connections between the past and present. There's something deeply human about ritual. It's how we mark time, how we find meaning, how we connect with something greater than ourselves. But when we look at the way we use technology today, it's impossible to ignore the echoes of the past. We're not just using apps and devices. We're participating in a digital reenactment of ancient human behaviors, whether we realize it or not. And here's the real question. What are these rituals trying to teach us? Are they guiding us towards something? Or are they simply pulling us deeper into a cycle we don't fully understand? Maybe the answer lies in the patterns we've ignored for too long. The symbols, the sounds, the movements that feel strangely familiar. This isn't just about how we use technology. It's about how we see ourselves, how we define our place in the world, and how we respond to the unknown. If we can recognize these patterns, if we can see the connections between our ancient past and our digital present, we might finally understand what we're really doing and why. So, I want to hear from you. What ancient rituals do you think we're repeating in our digital lives? What symbols, sounds, or behaviors stand out to you as strange echoes of the past? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to uncover about how the past shapes the present, how ancient wisdom might help us navigate the future, and how the patterns we've ignored for centuries are still guiding us today. Stay curious and keep exploring.